Today we're going to take a look in a three-part series on installing this nice picket fence. Welcome to Tomahawk DIY, everyone. I'm Mike. Now you probably notice I'm wearing a different shirt than I usually do. It says by the grace of God. And if you haven't heard of this story, you've got to go check out the YouTube channel Pleasant Green.
I just returned from the most amazing, eye-opening, terrifying, and inspiring trip ever.
It's just a phenomenal story and goes along with the mission of Tomahawk DIY by helping people in some of Earth's most dire circumstances. This video is part number one, how to install the posts, which is one of the most important things. If you get this wrong, your fence is going to look horrible. If you get it right, your fence should look great. The first step in getting your fence installed is to mark the fence line with string to ensure your posts are lined up straight. Be sure to pull the string tight, using wooden stakes to secure it at each end. In my installation, the strings cross at the corner post. So as you dig your holes, you want to get it at least 2 feet deep, okay? We've got a good length here to get into the hole. Minimum you need is 1.5 feet. This is, again, a picket fence, so it's going to be different for a bigger full-size fence. So as you dig, you're going to run into things like sprinkler pipes, rocks you got to move, and obviously you'll have to work through each of those items. Post hole digger makes pretty short work digging out here and getting a couple feet deep. This is the pile of dirt from the 17 holes. A good amount of soil that you'll need to set somewhere. You can see all the holes have been dug and each fence post set loosely into its hole. My fence install has 17 posts and 2 gates. For example, you can see in this hole there are 2 pipes, one that did not get broken just to the side of the hole, and the second one that had to be broken to set our post on the fence line. We've got our fence posts lined up here for the picket fence. On the ground next to each post, we've placed an 80-pound bag of concrete that will be used in each hole. Each bag will be mixed in the post hole. We're going to have 2 gates on this project. You see one right here leading to the stone pathway. Be sure your gate locations are planned out properly with the desired width of the gate. The posts for gates will have metal reinforcing inside to keep the gate nice and sturdy. The gate here is about a 4-foot wide gate. The posts are just a hair under 5 feet apart. You can see right here where my toe is that the inside to inside of the gate posts is about 4 feet for the gate opening. Now from a spacing standpoint, we're targeting about 6 feet between each fence post. Obviously the odds of getting just the exact amount of spacing between the fences are pretty slim. So as you lay it out, you spray paint on the ground along your line where each post goes, targeting our 6 feet, and then we've got some, I think this one on this end is about 6.5, and then down at the far end, 1 or 2 that are about 7 feet. You don't want to span more than about 8 feet with this 4-foot tall picket fence. 6 to 8 feet, ideally being closer to the 6-foot range is where you want to land. Now, over on this end, we're running a bit shorter. The fence posts are 5 feet from post to post. We're spacing them out evenly to ensure it looks nice. At this end, we have a gate post and then the corner of the house about 10 feet apart. So splitting the difference gives the 5-foot spacing in this section. Each of these fence posts are 6 feet tall. So that's about 2 feet that can be underground. Then you can see they're notched out here already. So you've got to know where your corners are, where your gates are going to be, and which ones are straight so they can be pre-cut in the shop to make your installation easier. Into each fence post hole, we're putting an 80-pound bag of concrete mix, like this Quikrete mix. So we've got our post nice and level, and we're dumping the concrete in now. So we're going to get it all around on all sides. Some of it down the hole, into the center of the post. Put a full 80-pound bag in. We're looking to make sure it is lined up nice and straight with the string. So you can see we're checking to be sure it's nice and plumb there. Checking the same thing on this side. You can see right here we've got the string lined up all the way down the fence line with each post. This ensures proper alignment of the posts so you have a straight fence. The dry concrete mix has been placed around each post. We have not yet worried about getting the posts the correct height, just aligning them with the string and being straight up and down. Now is the time to set the vertical of each post. Use a string run along the top of the posts to figure out which posts require adjustment up or down. With the concrete and dry concrete powder, you can easily adjust each post. Be sure to check that each post is set to the right height, remains plumb, and the lower string shows that the posts are still sitting square and aligned down the row of posts. A trick to pulling the string tight is to wrap it around the wooden stake. Then use your foot to apply pressure, pulling the string tight, and finish pounding the stake into the ground. This is the corner fence post. This post sets the height of all the posts, so you want to be sure this one is at the right height. The string is set at 50 inches above the bottom cutout to the top of the post. Now with that 50-inch measurement, we can set each post down the line to have 50 inches from the string measured down to the bottom of the lower cutout. This will ensure that the top line of your fence is level, regardless of variations in ground height, up or down. So this is our middle post in the length. We've just set the string to the correct height for the entire length of the fence between one corner post and the existing neighbor's fence. You can see the string is set to height at one corner. Then pull it taut to the far end of the fence. Finally, adjust the height of the middle post so you can adjust the length of the fence. Let's take a closer look at setting the height of a post. First, ensure dry concrete was filled inside the bottom of the post. Then pull the post up to reach the string. Or if necessary, pound it down with a metal mallet like this 3-pound sledge. All the while, using your level, ensure the post remains plumb and vertical. Move it up or down until it's lined up properly with the top of the string. Hopefully you can see here, we're looking for the string to be just barely touching or hover slightly above the post. You want to raise or lower the height of the post in the dry concrete to align it with the string. Remember, you have the 2 end posts and a middle post setting the height. If we look at the next post down, it's the middle post. So the string is actually resting on top of that post. Whereas this post, it's just a hair below the string. That prevents us from pushing the string up. 3 posts here. This is the one we are using as our guide that we set originally. You can see there's a gap on the string with that one. And then looking at the last post, we need to have it set at the right height. Then down here, we're setting this one at the end of the line. This part starts to get a little tricky. We'll know this is the right height when our guidepost string is in the right spot. This one is our hinge post. We're checking the level with the string. We need to make sure our gate is level. Now we're putting water into the dry concrete. You'll notice we're not mixing the water in the concrete, just simply filling the water up and letting it soak into the concrete. This particular post does not have any concrete inside the post because it's a gate post that will have a metal sleeve going inside for the gate structure. Here's a different post, not for a gate. In these, we put some concrete powder inside and are filling water inside to set the concrete. Now the reason we're not mixing the water and concrete is because we've set the posts to the right height, nice and vertical, and we don't want to do anything to disturb that. So just pour water onto the concrete powder to soak in and cure the concrete. Now this is an important point. You can see this is a hinge post on a gate. It is cut out for the rails to go in on one side. The other side does not have a cutout because no rails go through. That's where the gate hinges will be secured. Now this side of the gate is where the latches go. Inside the hinge post, we will be putting metal. Because we don't have the metal hinge post sleeve ready today, we're not putting the concrete inside yet. This will happen after the sleeve gets installed. Our gate is sitting exactly at 48 inches between the 2 posts. It's important to have the measurements correct when you buy the parts because you need to leave a couple inches for hinges, latches, clearances, and adjustment room. So the actual gate dimension is going to be about 45 or 46 inches due to the clearances. It's been about 5 minutes. You can see the water has soaked in and the concrete's looking soft. If we look inside the post, you can see there's still standing water soaking in, which is okay. It's been a few minutes and the concrete is starting to set. We're double checking the posts are plumb and vertical. If any are out of alignment, now is the time to make adjustments before it sets further. At this corner post, there's an interesting trick. We had the string lined up nice and straight past all the posts, but this corner is not an exact 90-degree angle. It's a bit less, maybe 80 degrees. So the corner on one side had the string just touching one corner of the square post, creating an angle, like my finger is. Similarly, on this side it had the same space down here where my fingernail is. Now that the water had gone down, I'm going to cover the top of the concrete with soil, making it flush. Eventually the grass will grow back around that. As you can see, getting the fence posts installed takes a good bit of work, but isn't too complicated. Getting the posts installed is probably more difficult than actually putting the rails and slats between the posts. There we have it. You saw how we installed the rails. Fairly easy. If you know what you're doing, get your rails and your pickets put in place. Thanks so much for Tomahawk DIY. Don't forget to go check out the Pleasant Green channel where I got this shirt and find out the story behind it. It's just an amazing story. So check out part 2 in this series on installing a vinyl picket fence. Much of what we discuss will be quite similar for a full height vinyl fence as well. Now I hope you found this video helpful. Leave some comments, please like the video, subscribe, go watch the next one in the series, and have a great day.